Hey guys, and welcome to Did You Know with Stacie Perrault. I have a pop quiz for you. So if you have a child who's been exhibiting any type of behavioral or emotional issues and you want to bring them to a counselor, a couple of questions. First one is, when you bring your child to a counselor for an emotional issue, who should the counselor spend more time with? Your child, option A, option B, yourself, or option C, both you and your child equally? Well, if you answered option A, you would be correct. When it's an emotional issue, you want to have the counselor spend the most time with your child, especially if it's from a traumatic related event or an adjustment period where your child has experienced a move, maybe a death in the family. It's important for the counselor to sit one-on-one and the child be free to express themselves in a one-on-one environment. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't talk to the counselor after appointments, in between appointments, and occasionally sit in for family sessions, but it does mean that your child can have that time with them for the most part. So question number 2 is, if you're bringing your child to a counselor for any behavioral issue, should the counselor meet with option A, just your child alone, B, just you, the parent or caregiver, or C, both of you equally? Well, it's kind of a trick question because there are 2 right answers, and if you're guessing that it's option B and C, you would be correct. For a behavioral issue, it's really important that the counselor sees the parent the most, if not an equal amount of time as they sit with the child. As a mental health provider, I see tons and tons of families where the parents bring the child to a counseling session with the best intentions to leave the child there and have myself fix the problem. And that's not how it works. When there's a behavioral issue, the parent is the one that's in charge of the home environment, the routine, and modeled behavior. The child can't make those changes on their own. It's up to you to be an active part of that process. So if you're thinking about bringing your child into counseling, or perhaps they're already in counseling, I encourage you, sit down with the counselor, talk about what you're willing to do to be an active part of your child's treatment. And any further questions, you can sit down either with the counselor or look for information online.